Welcome to Sodo Creations, where we make your imagination a reality. I'm going to install these balloons today along this door. So I decided to do that. I'll explain why here in just a second. I got this pack of balloons from Amazon, and this is one of the times that I usually just get a pack, because with Halloween decor, I'd rather just buy the pack. We have some command hooks that we're going to use to attach, and I want to take time to show you how I use these command hooks. First, the command hooks are closed, so it's not open on the end. I like that because I'll be able to thread my 260Q through. Of course, you have the strips. You only need one for each command hook, and the black tape goes on the wall. The red and white side goes on the command hook if you haven't used these before. But you want to make sure you hold on long enough. They say at least 30 seconds for you to hold on so that it sticks really well. As same thing with the wall. So I'm just going to show you really how I do it. So you have your 260Q, you have the closed end that we're going to use, not the open end, because you can't get that open end through that. It's pretty thin. And even the closed end, you have to literally shake it through. So you hold on to the very, very tip to compress the 260Q as much as you can. And what I do is once I get that through, I just wiggle my finger as I'm pushing forward to get it through. And then you want to double knot it. So we'll tie the first knot right there and pull. And once you get it tight enough, then you want to pull, make another knot and tie again. So the reason I love this style of command hooks is because this balloon is not going anywhere. If you have any tension in your balloon and it happens to move, it's not going to slide off. So you see how it can move back and forth. It's all one loop on the metal and it's not going to come off. Sometimes you can get away with the regular command hooks by just hooking your garland on it or tying this 260Q all around, not having to go through, because those don't have a loop. Do not use these. These I do not recommend because it's going to damage your wall. It's going to chip off the paint. It pulls everything off. You do not want your customer or your family member asking you to paint their whole house because of a little chip on the wall. That's just my thought process, not that it has happened to me before. So now I'm peeling off the black and white sticker from the command hook, and I'm holding it in place so that I start inflating my balloons. I always tell you that when you get to your venue, make sure your command hooks are in place first. With the time, you hold it on the time you need for it to stick on, and leave it on before you even start working on any other thing. Sometimes before I even offload the car, I work on that first. And as you can see, you want to attach your 260Q first before you hook that on, because it'll be easier. It won't cause tension on the command hook before it adheres well to the wall. I was showing you there what comes in the pack. We had some glue dots. We have this strip that you can also use to connect your balloons. I've never used one of these before. I thought today that maybe I should do a tutorial on these balloon strips to see how they turn out. And that's the design they're telling us we can do with the balloons in this pack. We'll find out if that is what we can accomplish. So far, I have we also have the bats that come with double-sided foam tape. We're going to use that, and we have our foil balloons right here. So we're gonna get on with inflating our balloons. I didn't sort them out this time. Sometimes I'll separate everything just to see how many colors I have, but I decided to just inflate as I go. Just keep inflating and try to alternate how I pair all the colors or how I form the quads so that one of each balloon is represented. In the picture, they had clusters of balloons, and it looks like they had about 6 clusters of the orange, 6 clusters of the black with some of the mixture of the marble looking balloon, and then the pumpkin was spread out throughout with the balloon with bats on it. But I decided to mix everything up and just create that type of design. We also have these googly eyes that you want to tie individually because you're going to use your glue dots to put them in place. So you just want to tie one separate and you see the pieces as I start to assemble. What I also decided to do was, since we only have 6 of the balloons, the clear balloons with bats, and 6 of the balloons that look like a pumpkin, I didn't realize that I had attached them already to the clusters, but it's better to put them aside so that you can place that in later on and you know that it's not hidden within the cluster towards the back. So I'm working on inflating. I was saying that in order for me to do this Halloween design, rather than try to find bats and find foil balloons and find these bat balloons, then it's easier for me to just buy the kit on Amazon. I won't use this for my professional decor as far as when I've been hired by a client, because the quality is not that great. It's funny, each of the balloons in this pack have a completely different texture. When I was inflating, that's what I noticed. They're all different. The orange was pretty good to inflate and I liked the way it felt. Black was a little firm, kind of like the Tuftex, but the rest were really thin. So we know it's not gonna last. I just put this up so that my kids have something to take pictures on Halloween day. So that was the main reason, and to have a tutorial for you guys. So I'm creating the quads here. Basically tie 2 balloons together. So I have several pairs and then I attach the pairs together. Because I don't think I'll have enough balloons for that design that is on the picture, I'm creating a thinner balloon, and I'll leave a few balloons on the side that I could add towards the base just to fill it up so that it looks a little thicker on the sides. But right now I would just go with the quads. And the other thing is the balloon sizes don't look very different. I forgot what the size said, but it showed on the paper as though they had 2 different sizes. They're not significantly different. I would say maybe they are 11 inches and say 8, but when you inflate and have to compress to give that rounded look, they end up being way smaller. So I can't remember what I was showing here. Oh yeah, the 2 balloons there, they look like they're bigger balloons, but we had just 1 of them, and it says on the paper that you have just 1, but the picture looked as though there were 2 of them. So I kept looking for 2 so that I would know where to place the other one, and I realized there was just 1. So we'll put that big one towards the bottom as well, like they did in the picture, because it creates that fuller look on the bottom. It would be pointless having it somewhere in the middle, I feel. So now I'm working on all the 5-inch balloons. With the 5-inch balloons, I wasn't sure if I wanted to create quads how I usually do, or if I wanted to try out what they have in the picture and just put single or double balloons. It was easier for me to inflate 2 balloons together and just tie them. So that's what I decided to do, just tie pairs together and figure out how to fit those pairs within my garland. So that is what I'm working on. We're going to finish inflating all the balloons and I will get back on here to show you how I assemble everything. Now onto our foil balloon. So you want to just inflate till it's firm enough, not too firm that it'll pop. But before that, your nozzle is supposed to go at the very bottom. There are two holes, one that you use to deflate and one that it sits on the bottom. So you want to slide your pump below, and I'll show you there's a clear paper that separates from the black, and you want to slide that underneath it. You can see the strip right there that's clear. You want to go under that and start inflating, and then you have the balloon completely inflated. Feel for its firmness, that it's firm enough but not too hard where it'll pop. So we have our letters ready to go, and now we're going to start assembling the garland by tying the necks from each of the clusters together. See, I'm going to show you a close-up. Hopefully it's hard to see with my top that's black as well, but I'm pulling both necks from each one. You tie one time and then we tie a second knot like so. So then you double knot and it's secure. It is not going anywhere. But I also, as I'm putting the balloons together, I'm trying to see my specialty balloons. So the polka dot, the marble looking balloon, making sure that I'm not putting them close to each other. So I'm kind of picking the next clusters, making sure that my colors somewhat alternate. As far as the black, the orange, I'm not worried about it. See, you can see where I didn't know I had that pumpkin balloon. I forgot what it's called, but I'm going to make sure when I'm trying to put it on the wall, I can twist it around. I said the beauty with balloons is you can always make adjustments with where you want to place certain balloons. So that's what I'm doing there, turning things around so that specific balloon is gonna show. Now I'm adding that big balloon on the bottom, and we're going to keep assembling the garland. You can see we don't have a lot of balloons left on the floor. We're about done with this garland. I'm just adding a few more and then we'll attach. So to attach, since you have your 260Q already on there, it's nice and secure. You gave yourself time for it to, you gave it time to adhere and yourself time to inflate all your balloons. You just pull on that 260Q and wrap it around several balloons a few times until it's pulled to the wall. I like the 260Q secure. Whatever you're placing your balloon against, you want to really pull on that 260Q so that you don't have any wiggle room and it stays in place. You can see the garland is somewhat thin. Even the bottom is a little thin. If we had more balloons, I could have added. Right now, I'm trying to make that top part get to where I put that 260Q. If I had known, I would have moved the 260Q probably to the middle of the door so that I can add all these extra balloons I'm putting at the top to the side to fill the side. But it's fine because I really wanted the design to go over the door to that command hook that's at the very end. So I'm adding that, and I'm trying to estimate if I have enough, and I think I need one more quad of balloons to fill that spot. So here I am coming with the rest. The rest are mainly the ones with the bat and the ones with the pumpkin. So I'll attach this one with the bat since I already have a pumpkin in place with the necks, again adjusting the pumpkin so it'll show, and then we'll just wrap that 260Q around several balloons. So you want to go twice around one type, go to another balloon and keep wrapping it around until you're out of the 260Q, and then you just let it hide between the balloons. Now we're adding a few of these to the bottom just to fill it and also make sure that pumpkin shows with each one. I'm finding what spot I can attach these to, and I'm still using the necks to attach them. So I'm just twisting that around and fitting that in so it stays in place. As for these clear balloons with the bats on it, again we're making sure they're just spread out throughout the garland. That's the 5th pumpkin. I'm gonna attach that right there, and I have just a pair, so I just make sure it's nice and secure and it's in place. So that is that. It's funny, the picture had it where all the pumpkins look nice and round and you couldn't even see, you could see the whole face, I guess, of the pumpkin. It was hard to do that for me because the mouth was covered with the garland. So I'm making adjustments on this bottom piece, trying to add this balloon here. You have to reach in, grab those necks and tie. Of course, I'm twisting the balloon so the marble piece will show. And I keep making adjustments until I'm happy with the design. I don't have a lot of balloons left. I only have some of the all of the 5 inches, and I have these bat balloons. So I'm adding a couple more, looking at the designs, trying to see where exactly I want to place these, and I'll put one there. You just tie it on to one of the necks that are already in there, pull and tie. So, and I'll put the other one right here. So we are done with our base pretty much. I'm cleaning up as I go. I'm going to also start working now on all my 5-inch balloons. So I'm working on getting all of them closer so I can start attaching them. I have a lot of glue dots. They gave a lot of glue dots, so those come in handy when attaching everything. We're gonna start with the googly eyes. I put the glue dot on the end and just push it onto the balloon and find where it's touching another balloon, add another glue dot, and just work that way. I end up also attaching the 2 eyes together with a glue dot and then placing it where I want it to go. So you can see here where I find the glue dot for these, align the eyes and attach them together. Then I can now put my glue dots on the back end where you have the necks and put that in the balloon. And also if you need to reinforce around that, you can do that as well. So I don't know, to me it makes sense to have the eyes looking in the same direction, but it doesn't have to. If you like that goofy googly eye look, you can do that as well, but I just like seeing them somewhat close together or facing similar directions anyway. So that is that. Last year I did my Halloween decor outside, but it got really cold here. Let me know what the weather is like in your part of the world. I know I have some people who watch from India. I have some people who watch from the Philippines, just different places. Let me know what the weather is doing in October now at your home. So I am adding. So now I decide to form my quad with the 5-inch balloon. I didn't want to be outside because I didn't want to have to tidy up the front, clear things, and have my camera outside when it was this cold, and it was rainy as well. So with these dots, I just put that in. I'll show you why I don't really like putting them separately, but I could suggest something to fix it as well. But I'll try to do a close-up so you can see, because the designs like that tend to bug me a little bit. I end up just forming quads, so putting 2 pairs of the balloons together like I'm doing now and just finding a way to attach them in the garland. And you can see the balloon on the left side is filling up a lot more, so it's looking better with those quads too. They give it that fuller look. I also make sure I pay attention to the color because I wanted that gold to stand out. It's not everywhere on the garland, it just creates that shine. So I made sure that when I put the balloon, it shows towards the front, and I'm attaching one on the very end there, and that completes the look. So just making final adjustments. Now I want to finish off all the balloons. As you can see, we were not able to go all around. Even if I did have enough balloons to go all around, it wouldn't be as wide as the picture looks. So I always recommend that if you buy these balloons and you're going off of the picture that they're selling the balloon with, you want to probably buy 2 packs of them. For one, some of them might pop, they might not last as long and things like that. So you want to get 2 packs to get the look that's in the picture. Just trying to figure out where to put my foil balloons, and I finally decide that I'm going to put it along the door frame. But that is what I'm working on. I'm just aligning my glue dots all along there, and then I'll compress that on so that it's in place. 2 more letters just on one side. This is just a backdrop for pictures, no big deal. We're not trying to overdo. But I'll link the one I did last year. That was a fun one because it had a spider. I was excited to do that. So I'll link that video down below or towards the end of this video. So if you want to see that one, you can. It was a fun one. It even had a web on it, which was good. But I liked this one when I was searching. So I decided to use this style just to give you a different look. So this balloon garland, I'll have it also on my Amazon storefront so you can see. That is the neck I'm telling you about. When you're standing underneath, you can just see that neck. It just bothers me. So you can either clip it off with scissors before you put your glue dots on there to attach it to the backdrop, or if it doesn't bother you, then leave it. But to me, those are the details that bother. We're left with our bats. I decided to prep so that my kids can put them on there themselves, just to give them something fun to do. So what I'm doing is taking all the double-sided tape. I should have shown you a close-up here, but it comes with tiny double-sided foam tape that you put on the back, and it's a 3D. So you fold the ends of the wings of the bat, and then you stick the middle part of the bat onto the balloons. I told them the only instruction was to put the bats on the orange balloons because black it's not gonna show, and all the other specialty balloons it won't really show. So they're gonna work on putting all the bats on the orange balloons, and I'll help them where I need to, and we should be done. I'll show you the final look here at the end once we're all done. Thank you so much for watching. If you're not yet subscribed, please click that subscribe button. I really appreciate you watching. From my statistics, it says 90% of you watching are not subscribed. I'll really appreciate if you would subscribe to support this channel, and like if you like the video. Appreciate you guys. Hope you have a safe Halloween and a warm Halloween. Be blessed. Bye.